Hello students, I am Professor Ajay Gupta from the Department of Biotechnology, Mahasi Markandeశ్వర University, Maulana Ambala. So today we will study the chemical and physical basis of life, which is syllabus for the BTech first year. So life is a series of complex chemical reactions, and it is basically fundamentally it is the study of matter and energy. So chemical bonds and the combining of the matter basically. So so they basically atoms can combine by chemical reaction to form molecules, and molecules they can combine to form a compound. And there are different than the mixture where the are physically combined but not chemically bonded, and these may be the solution, colloid, and the suspension. Here we will see the structure of water molecule. Water combines with the one oxygen atom and two hydrogen atoms, and together make a water molecule. And here you can see it is a very unique structure. It is a V-shaped structure, and it has a unique property because of the presence of the hydrogen bonds. Hydrogen bonds are formed between the oxygen, electronegative oxygen, and the hydrogen. And because there are so many hydrogen bonds in this, so together they make a give a water as a high boiling point. Though hydrogen is a weak bond, but because they are present in large number, so they can give the high boiling point because of their number. So basically the important properties water, it is a polar and it clinges to itself. Cohesion, adhesion, that means it combines with the other surface, so and because of this it has the surface tension and capillary action, and because of this capillary action basically the water reaches to the tip of the plant in the very high tall plants, and it is a universal solvent because of its polar nature, and it has a high heat capacity, latent heat of vaporization, and the specific heat. So solutions are the colloid, very large organic molecule, suspension in which particles settle, sediment, and concentration amount of solute in a solvent. For example, one solution has a high amount of solute, so that will call as a hypertonic solution, and another solution which has a low amount of solute, so then that will be called as a hypotonic solution. And if two solutions have the similar concentration of solute, then that we call as a isotonic solution. So this helps us basically understanding the osmosis process in the plant and animal cells. So chemical reactions, what happens? The water is formed by the chemical reaction. As we have seen, the hydrogen and oxygen combine together to make a water molecule. And there are the different types of reactions, and the reaction that absorb more energy, they are called the endergonic reaction or endothermic reaction, and the reactions that release more energy, they are called exergonic or exothermic reaction. And basically life is nothing but a series of these reactions that are coupled together, they are mixed together, and reactions require energy to initiate them, basically the activation energy. We'll just see the next. So activation energy, what happens when the reactant becomes a product, there is involvement of the activation energy, because there is a formation of the reactant complex basically. And when there is a use of the enzyme basically, so what happens when see here, this is activation energy. So when there is no enzyme, the activation energy is high, and when there is a involvement of enzyme, the activation energy becomes low, and then there is a formation of the stable product. So this is the same thing happens in the catalytic activities, in the chemical catalysis. So here you see, so with the help of green is with the help of catalyst, and red is without the catalyst. So when there is no catalyst, reactivation energy is high, and when there is a catalyst, so reactivation energy becomes low, and then there is a formation of the product. Sorry. So again same thing, non-catalyzed reaction and the enzyme catalyzed reaction. So here you see there is a low activation energy. You see here there is this one is low activation energy, and here you see the high activation energy. Chemical reactions, so we know the smallest molecule they combine together to form a large molecule, And this is one example with the amino acids. Amino acids are the units of the protein, and they combine together. Two amino acids combine together to make the dipeptide, and bond present is called dipeptide. And when they more amino acids combine together, so there are more number of peptide bond, and that we call as the polypeptide bonds, and the chain is called the polypeptide, and this means large molecule, then we call it as a protein molecule. So when similarly there is a decomposition opposite to synthesis. So when we have a large compound molecule like a glycogen, and when we take it to the food, so what happens, this large glycogen molecule or the carbohydrate undergoes the process of hydrolysis. There is addition of water basically, and then it breaks down into the simplest molecule, that is called the glucose. So these are the monomer units of the glycogen, called this glucose. So again there are the oxidation and reduction reactions. So electrons are exchanged between the reactants, and the electron donor is oxidized and electron acceptor is basically reduced. And we'll see more in detail in the next one. So what happens? So exchange reactions. So now when for example later stage you will study that when glucose undergoes a glycolysis process, so glucose has to be converted first into glucose 6-phosphate. So this phosphate which attached to the glucose comes from the ATP, adenosine triphosphate. So this terminal phosphate is basically broken down and this attached to the glucose. So remaining this part of this ATP, which has now only 2 phosphate, so this is called as the ADP, adenosine diphosphate. So this is an example of the aerobic reaction, that is oxygen, that is air. So when glucose burns in presence of oxygen, it gives rise the carbon dioxide and the water vapor. So during this process the energy is basically being produced. So the ATP combines with the phosphate, gives rise the ATP. This energy is released basically, and this released energy is trapped as a one high energy phosphate bond, and this phosphate is added to ADP and becomes the ATP. This is the ATP. Now, so what happens in the reverse reaction? The carbon dioxide and the water molecule can combine in presence of sunlight and the chlorophyll, which happens in the plant. This is called the photosynthesis, and this is basically as synthesized as a stored energy in the form of glucose, and there is a release of oxygen as a byproduct. Now, so these are some other redox reaction. You see here is a NAD plus. This is oxidized form. So when hydrogen attached, it becomes reduced. Again FAD, when it is oxidized stage, and when one hydrogen becomes attached, it becomes a reduced one, and it can accommodate maximum 2 hydrogen, so it becomes FADS2. So these NAD and FADS2, these are seen in the electron transport chain very clearly. So these are some other reactions also where conjam and ubiquinol, they can also be reduced. So these 4 parameters, factors, they influence the reaction rate, concentration, temperature, pH, and the catalyst. So catalyst, as we have seen, reduces the activation energy. pH is very specific for many reactions, and temperature, basically the temperature may be high or low, and when high temperature is there, so there is more collision between the molecules and the reaction is achieved faster. Similarly, the concentration, when more reactants are in high concentration, so products are formed faster. So this is acid, base, and salt. So in the acid we get the hydrogen ion. In case the base, there is a release of hydroxyl group, and in the salt there is the plus and minus atoms, they are discharged. For example, sodium chloride and potassium chloride. So these are the pH scale. So 7 is the neutral, 1 is the extremely acidic, and 14 is the highly basic. So this is the pH scale, and these are the scale given for different household items: tomato, saliva, blood, household bleach, ammonia, so like this. So they have different pH values. Now acid and alkali, acidosis, there is excess of hydrogen, this is called the acidosis, and when there is excess of hydroxyl group, that is called the alkalosis. These, when body does the metabolism, so these are the either these are released or absorbed. Based on that, the body faces the acidosis or alkalosis reactions. Organic compounds, so we will study the carbohydrates, lipids, proteins and nucleus. These are the four broad categories of organic compounds. So there are many functional groups in the organic compounds. So like this, carboxylic group is there in amino acid, amine group is there, the amino acid, hydroxyl group is there, and phosphate group is there. So these we will study one by one in the different groups. So you can see the carboxylic group is there in fatty acid, amino acid, carbohydrates, fatty acids, hydroxyl group, and phospholipids.